My name is Wes Littlefield with Anglers.com, and this is my first impressions of the Lowrance Eagle 7. I was sent this test unit to provide honest feedback and an honest review because the throwback Eagle line is intended to replace the hook reveal line. So let's open up this box and see what's inside. Boop, 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 boom. Alrighty. There. That was weird. Alright, just like every other Lowrance product I've gotten, in some plastic wrap, protected pretty well. First initial thoughts, I do like it. Now, in all fairness, Lowrance did invite me out to see the unveiling of this product a few months ago, so I've already kind of had a first look at the Eagle line. This is the first time that I've got to take the unit out of the box and mount it to a boat. Hardware, electronics, there it is. Okay, yep, we got everything. We've got the mounting bracket here, power cables, transducer. That thing's tiny. I was not expecting that. Let's hook it up to this battery I got and turn it on. All right, so I just got the Eagle hooked up to the battery. Super simple, straightforward process. I am no electrician, and it was very easy. Red to red, black to black, and you're good to go. So let's turn it on. One of the things that I can't tell in here, but that Lowrance really bragged about was the screen quality. They claim that it's way better than the Lowrance Hook Reveal, and honestly, that was one of the things I was really impressed with when I tested the Hook Reveal. So if they've bettered the screen quality on this, gotta say, I'm pretty excited about it. All right, so the first menu pops up, and it's what language? I speak English, so I'm gonna click English. Yes, US English. Accept. Do you want to configure this device for typical use now? Configure this device. Miles per hour, feet, yes. All right, so right off the bat, pretty easy to set up. I don't have the transducer plugged in. That's one thing that it was telling me that it couldn't automatically detect it. So I figure that once I get everything mounted on the boat actually, then we'll be able to really see how it is. For now, I do like the screen clarity. It seems to be pretty decent. But once again, I'm inside. I don't have the sun glaring down on it, so it should be pretty decent. I must mention that this unit is compatible with downscan and side scan, but the transducer that they sent me, I believe it's only downscan, but it might not even have downscan. I'll have to get to the water, test it out, and see exactly what features this transducer is gonna give me. All right, with that said, let's go see how simple it is to install it. I'm actually gonna install it on the front of the boat underneath the trolling motor. So hopefully that makes the installation process a little bit easier. But once again, I've installed a couple of these now, and they're usually not very complicated, at least with these basic units. But let's head to the boat. All right, we're outside at the boat. Thank goodness for the shade because it is hot and muggy here on this Oklahoma spring day. As I said, I'm gonna mount this to the front so I can run the trolling motor and everything, and it should be the simplest setup, I hope, fingers crossed. So let's get to it. All right, so it only came with a back mounting bracket. Even though I want to put it on the front, that's okay. I'm just going to tape the heck out of it. It did come with a CMAP card, so that's exciting. I can honestly say that the Hook Reveal did not come with one of these, so we'll see what that is. And I gotta go get tape. All right, so it didn't come with any kind of way to attach it to the trolling motor, but from some redneck ingenuity, as my grandpa says, he had a hose clamp lying around, and I am gonna use the hose clamp to attach the transducer to the bottom of the trolling motor, and then I'm gonna tape the crap out of it just to hold it in place for testing purposes. As I said, I'm not keeping this one, so I'm not too concerned about it lasting long on there. Just taking it out a few times, really testing it. But first, we're gonna get a drink of American tea. What is American tea, you might ask? It's sweet tea. Specifically, this is peach sweet tea, which is the bomb. And if you don't agree with me that American tea is sweet tea, then let me know in the comments, but I'm just gonna tell you right now, you're wrong. All right, so let's go mount the transducer to the bottom of the trolling motor. Alrighty. So on the transducer, hopefully you can see this, there we go. You can see the holes. In theory, this should fit through and make it through. Heck yeah. All right, we're good. Nut driver when you need it. And my wife would say I am the nut driver. Hope I don't run out of threads. I didn't check that. Probably should have. All right, so we're going to plan B or C, I don't know. I wasn't very good at letters. Funny, I'm a writer now. But anyways, we're moving on to the next plan because Wesley didn't check to make sure that this would fit. So we are gonna move to some zip ties and really redneck it up. Yep. And there's that one. Come on. And all right, I had one more small roll, so we're gonna have to make this work. Thing I use zip ties. We're out, of course. Close to really what I needed. Okay, so we've got the transducer mounted to the trolling motor now. Now we're gonna move on up the cable and actually mount the bracket that the unit is gonna set in itself, which is right next to where I'm gonna be running the trolling motor. Should be super simple, installing 4 little screws, screw them down into the deck, plug everything in, see if it works, and then head to the lake tomorrow, which won't be in this video. That'll actually be my review video, which will get posted shortly after this one. So be sure to check back ASAP. So my camera was starting to overheat because it was running too long. So I went ahead and mounted the unit while it was cooling down. But now it's the moment of truth. Is it gonna work? So let's turn it on and see. Even with it pretty bright in the background, you can see it pretty well. And one final look. I organized all of the wires back behind. I say organized, just kept them together, that way they're not going everywhere. I made sure that the trolling motor can go down and be deployed and have plenty of wire. And then I clipped the zip ties, made sure my tape was gonna hold. It's gonna be pretty good, at least for a few trips. I ain't too worried about it. Like I said, I've gotta send this back, so I'm not too worried about my tape job lasting for years and years. One look back around here, you can see the 4 screws that I got. It's mounted to the deck of the boat. Super simple setup. Plug in 2 plugs and you're up and running. The battery cable is pretty short. You can see I've got a battery back there, right there. That's not very far away, and we are pretty much maxing out the battery cable length. So if you've got a long boat, you will need to figure out a way to run more cable. So what are my initial thoughts on the Lowrance Eagle? Honestly, it was really easy setup if I would have had the right tools and stuff. The one thing that I wish it would have came with is a hose clamp or a specially designed trolling motor clamp that clamps onto that bottom part of that trolling motor. That way I wouldn't have had to zip tie it and tape it. Now granted, I'm 99% sure they intended you to mount it to the back of the boat with that bracket, but since I'm not keeping this one, I didn't feel like drilling new holes and doing all that stuff to the back of my grandpa's boat. As far as the look and everything, it looks just like a Lowrance hook reveal. I will say my initial thoughts, the screen is better. As far as I can tell so far, which is very minimal screen time, it looks a lot better. And Lowrance told me that the sonar is also better. Once again, I haven't had it in the water to check it out and see. Hopefully it's more accurate, but for now, I'm gonna take this out to the lake a few times, get a good feel for it, and then come back with a review, which if I've already filmed that video, it will be down below me. Or you can check out the other video, which is how to read a fish finder, and I can't wait to see you there.